Hello and welcome to the All Night Gamers Podcast, episode 223. Hi, hello, hi. Thank you for joining us for another edition of the show. I'm back because I'm against my will across the country. Also, apologies for my poor audio quality because I'm having to use headphones because I'm in a hotel room. But we're here, we're back, we're doing the show. The boys carried on without me last week, which I need to listen to that episode. I'm kind of intrigued to see how that went.
I hosted. It was interesting.
Oh, Alex hosted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now that's
he
that's already a wild card.
yeah
You thought
he
it was
wanted
Cameron?
he wanted his chance to host.
I was like, I've never hosted and I've been on the show for so long.
Hey Grant, just don't leave again, because if you leave again, I'm hosting.
uh, so,
I
um,
don't know, scare him straight.
It's like I pointed out to Cameron, I was like, we should let Cooper and Kyle write the show one week. But it needs to be for April Fools, and we need a backup show.
That's so
Okay,
wild.
if I was actually in charge of writing the show, I would actually write the show.
I was gonna say I would actually do a
That's
decent
crazy.
job. Probably not, but
I mean, I look at a lot of news. I just don't add anything to the sheet. I just talk about it whenever it gets time.
real.
so yeah, I'm in the corn state. What else
Yay.
happened? Went
Yay,
to went
corn.
to race yesterday. I guess talk more about that later. How are you guys doing?
Yay,
Good.
corn.
Okay.
Are you also in the
I
Good.
corn
just
state? I hope you're not.
no, I am not. I am
Good.
in
I hope you're not.
whatever the state Alabama is.
Ancestral,
Yep,
I
I'm in
think.
the
Oh,
incest state.
yeah.
I saw a joke, Saturday Night Live clip of it yesterday. It was like, Alabama was celebrating 200 years of being a state or something, and they're like, if you want to know what life was like in Alabama 200 years ago, go to Mississippi. Hmm. Okay, well, let's get right into the news here. First off, Nintendo's suing another person. Yeah, it's another day in the life. Nintendo's suing Genki because Genki leaked the Switch 2 stuff at, was it CES? Yeah, CES.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the fall, I think, because they were like
We
either they
covered this when
obtained
it
it,
happened, yeah.
yeah, either they obtained it, uh, somehow in a way that they weren't supposed to, or they broke um the contract. Either way,
Yeah, and like, one, okay, I'm real sick of talking about lawsuits. It seems like there's a new one every day. And
yep.
two,
Yeah.
Real.
I really try to not be the like yay big corpo guys get off the corporate conglomerates back kind of guy, but you kind of asked for it. You signed a contract that said you wouldn't do this one thing and then you went and did it.
And you did
So,
the thing. Yeah.
and like, is it a big deal? I don't know. To me, no, but to Nintendo, absolutely, because that's who they are. So, I mean, I don't know. You asked for it, bro. What are you gonna
Shit,
like?
man.
How are you gonna
They
get out of
handled
it? You
their
literally
their
said
own.
you would not do it. You put pen to paper and said you wouldn't do it, and then you did it. I can't help you.
Well, they actually didn't sign an NDA based on the
So they stole
lawsuit.
it. It's like,
So
what does that get them?
so essentially the argument Nintendo's putting up is you either have a Switch 2 before you should have, which means you bought illegal, or you're false advertising claiming that you've matched the Switch to specs.
So one way or another.
Interesting.
That's fair.
So they didn't sign an NDA. It's just they got it somehow,
Yeah,
and it wasn't through Nintendo officially.
right.
Sounds about right.
And
That
that's
does.
the problem.
The thing that's really pointless about this is that Genki is like a shell Chinese company, so like they could literally just close down and reopen as a new business in the US within like weeks if they
And it
get
won't
shut
matter.
down because of this. Which makes it, I'm sure, pretty frustrating for on Nintendo's part, but also like so goofy in the grand scheme because it's like, man, they're not gonna stop doing anything. It's China.
I was
It,
gonna say it's
I
not gonna
mean,
change
it's
anything.
it's it's like the argument everyone always makes with emulators, right? It's like the ROMs are already on the internet. All Nintendo's doing is scattering the source, the resources to other sites.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of that the is it the Barbara Streisand effect? I can't remember what the name that thing that like that photo on the internet someone wanted taken down, and before like they had made that public information that they
Nobody
wanted
knew
it
about
taken
it.
down, there was like I think 2 or 4 downloads of that image, and half of those downloads were from her lawyers. And then after that became public, that website exploded and everybody downloaded it. So that's a whole mess of
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
you attracting attention to it only makes people
yeah,
want to
More.
have
double-edged
more.
sword. It's a
Yeah.
losing battle, but
Yeah.
hey man, Nintendo's lawyers are I'm sure they're loving this because they're just getting bank. They're just getting
They
paid.
Oh
always
yeah.
do.
They're
All
every
Xbox.
week on who they're gonna sue.
Yeah, I wonder who do we want to place a bet for the next company?
PlayStation.
Mm,
Nintendo suing PlayStation?
Oh,
You
I
mean
thought we were
PlayStation
moving
suing
on.
somebody?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's been a while since we've gotten PlayStation suing somebody.
mm.
I give it
All
time.
all Xbox games,
Yeah.
consoles, and accessories are going up in price worldwide. So
We're gonna
dude,
raise our prices.
yeah, I dropped my jaw when I read that the top of the line Series X is now going to be over $700. That's crazy, bro. We're getting into GPU territory here.
Yeah.
Microsoft, just eat it. You're already third. Like a distant
Yeah,
third.
like it's like they go out back and keep shooting this horse in the legs that doesn't die. But they
Well, they
won't
keep shooting
kill him.
themselves in the foot.
They
That's
just
for
keep
sure.
shooting him in the legs again. It's sadistic.
Yeah, it's not.
They like pain.
They really
Yeah,
do.
they do like pain.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the prices. Oh yeah, so all first party Xbox games are going to be $80 now. Um and as much as I'd like to be like, yeah, Nintendo did this, honestly, Microsoft actually did have this for sure waiting in the vault, just waiting. And I'm pretty sure they used the timing of Nintendo doing the first announcement so that everybody would be like, "Rah, I hate Nintendo," and not be like, Xbox is
Like,
doing the exact same thing.
no, they were absolutely just waiting for the chance, dude. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
we know
The
we all know that that's what they were waiting on.
the Series S is going up $80. The Series X is going up $100. Um, yeah. And the top of the line 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Series X is $730 MSRP. Base controller prices are now $65. Xbox wireless headset now $120. Um, what drives me so nuts, one, all controllers are way too damn expensive. But two,
Yeah.
Xbox hasn't
My
changed anything about their controllers in 20 years. There's no new features besides like new charging ports and
well,
rechargeable
the,
battery
the
kits, but like no
there's
HD
still
rumble, no haptic triggers, no touchpad, no nothing.
no batteries built into the controller. Like the fact that I still have to buy double A's to use their controllers.
Or spend $30 on the battery pack.
Yeah,
So now it's $100. And like again, there's no new features.
I mean, it's just
There's nothing.
stupid. Yeah.
Like,
like look,
don't get me wrong, I'm not happy about the price of like a DualSense, and I'm definitely not happy about Nintendo controller pricing, but there's at least stuff in
look.
it. Like,
I'm
I'm not gonna,
I'm not
you
gonna
know,
I'm not gonna
uh,
say that like the touchpad on PS5, the DualShock or the NFC is used like enough to really warrant those being in there. But I don't have to buy batteries constantly or buy you know, an addition to be able to not, or, to have the same functionality as everything else.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason Microsoft has barely sold more than the GameCube this gen.
And that's mostly because of the S.
Yeah. Uh, I've actually got some Xbox stuff to talk about when we get to Collector's Corner. It's kind of funny. It's unrelated.
Nice.
Fortnite will return to the United States iOS App Store after court finds Apple willfully violated court orders in the Epic Games lawsuit. Um,
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I don't I don't want to call this a victory lap because I'm sick of talking about this lawsuit.
No, literally.
But and you guys should join in me on this because we all kind of claim this. So I was like, I think this is just going to go bad for everybody. And it has
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Epic lost a bunch of money and it didn't go like they went through all this junk and all that stuff happened to them. And now Apple's still getting screwed too. Like everybody now everything's
Everybody
ruined.
loses. Yeah.
Which maybe that's the outcome that we needed. Everybody shut
Maybe.
up. I don't know. Games Done Quick has released the games list for Summer Games Done Quick 2025. That's exciting.
Yeah.
When is Summer Games Fest? That starts next month, right?
Yeah, I think that's also during AMG weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, look, temporal junction. Everything is happening that weekend.
I don't know if I can say that on the podcast, but I'll type that, I guess.
Switch users are getting error codes after updating to version 20 of the software.
I'll kill you.
What just happened?
I'm gonna murder this man.
Cooper
I'm
is not paying
literally.
attention to the show like normal and just
No, no,
As
gooning.
always.
He's
I
gooning at his
literally am.
desk and
I literally,
pretending that he's normal.
no, I literally am paying attention.
That's
That's,
crazy.
I know, I'm teasing you, bud.
that's so crazy.
Um, so yeah, the Switch got an update, version 20. Did y'all talk about that last week? Was that
No, because
No, I don't think
that was
so.
a
that
couple
was
days
after the
after.
episode, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a new update. Basically, all it did is it changed a couple of the icon colors and also improved like eShop performance slightly. Um, and it's also red now instead of orange, which kind
It
of sucks
also,
actually because I actually liked the orange eShop.
yeah,
Like,
It was like the 3DS and Wii U.
yeah, it's always been orange. I like
Yeah.
that. And like, I know, yeah, I hate change. Yeah, red is Nintendo, but whatever. I like the orange.
it also removed a bunch of the absolute trash from the top of the eShop.
Well, they're still in the eShop. They're just not on the front
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
page.
changed their algorithms too, so they're not just showing Gooner bait at the top of the
yeah.
eShop. Panty Party 7 or whatever.
Dude, I want to be the guy at Nintendo who has to play all the junk and approve it that it will work on the Switch too.
Yeah, get paid to play
Oh,
Panty Party 1 through
I
7.
I did hear, or I saw a thing that said, uh, that a lot of the games aren't really tested beyond they load into the game.
Yeah.
Fine, they'll accept complaints if there's big problems. Like, that's usually how companies do it, though. Is
Yeah,
there is
that's
never a
not.
best. I know it's not the best, but there is never a better test group than the general public. That's how Bethesda does it.
Yeah, that's fair. And like I get that the Switch 2 is different enough architecture to where it's kind of an issue, but like my standard I think is PS5. The way that came out, there was like 7 games that didn't work.
Yeah.
And like they were, you know, Joe's Crab Shack the video game or whatever.
Yeah,
Um and like yeah, it was easier for Sony because they're staying the same architecture and it's, a little more straightforward, but still, that was like slow, so flawlessly done. Just like, hey, basically they all work confirmed right now for sure. That was super impressive, and now I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
So anyway, Switch update. They're getting errors. They've released a patch like a couple days after that report to fix it. Apparently, there's still a couple people having some issues, but it's
Yeah,
mostly
they're
fixed.
having to send it in.
Um, this update was actually like gave me a reason to touch my Switch. Let's see. Oh yeah, they also added the system transfer button now, so
Yeah,
you can transfer to the Switch 2. And they also said that you can do a system transfer before the Switch 2 comes out and upload it to a server that you can then re-download to the Switch 2. So that way, if you're like trading in your Switch 1 or something,
then you'll have
you have a
all your data.
workaround. Yeah.
I mean, if you're trading it in, you're probably doing it at GameStop, and they actually will work with you on that.
Yeah, I know they
But they'll
will,
let
but
Yeah,
it
but
just it makes it
like,
easier because like now you don't have to go there and like deal with all that in the store or whatever.
well, no, it's like I don't remember the amount of time. I think it's a week or something they give you to bring in the trade-in console
Okay.
so that you can do transfer.
That's
Because they
good.
don't want to do the transfers in the store because it takes forever.
Yeah.
yeah, it's very slow.
Um,
But GameStop might be dead in a month, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
turn
that's a crazy thing, dude. But we have something for that. We'll get to it in a little bit.
turn-based games can't make a comeback when they never left in the first place. Is this about Claire
it is.
Expedition 33?
It is. A lot of people acting like turn-based RPGs have been dead since Final Fantasy VII came out 20 years ago. There's an article I saw.
I've heard similar sentiments, but I think it's also been a lot more like proof that large scale RPGs like this can actually be extremely profitable if you do them correctly, which is a thing that people were complaining about like Square. They're like Square's getting away from what they do best, which is turn-based RPGs, um,
Well,
because they don't make
Square's
as much money
problem.
on that as they were other stuff because they're like feeding to the populace instead of just making good games.
Well, Square decides all their games don't make enough money anyway, so like, just make the games people know you're
Yeah,
good
good point.
for.
I don't know, but yeah, I've heard of a lot of this is probably going to be a game of the year contender based on the reception it's been getting.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
article about this says those sorts of games are really fun to play because they take you by surprise. But it seems like Claire Obscure has broken out of the RPG niche and to the mainstream, which means people who don't play RPGs are talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like
Seems
I'm
you know how
reading just a
people
random Reddit thread about this game, and like everyone is just freaking out about it.
we now have people who don't play them making these big sweeping statements about turn-based games. How they haven't been successful since Final Fantasy started implementing more combat elements.
Yeah, see, no,
Yeah, but
that's
like,
stupid because like there's a ton of turn-based RPGs that have come out between Final Fantasy VII and today. Like that's a crazy
also,
statement.
Pokemon is one of the biggest it is the biggest media franchise in the world, and that started as turn-based. You
At the
know,
end of the day, I think my irritation stems from reading takes from people who have no business having takes on RPGs.
true.
Like this article even calls it a great game and it's reviewed extremely well. They're
Yeah,
just annoyed that
as of 13 hours ago, it is now the highest rated original IP in PlayStation Store history.
yeah.
Wow. Good for them.
Yeah, it's really exploding. Probably see it on the. We'll see it at the end of the year, I'm
Some
sure.
some people on the Reddit thread comments are like, "But it's not anime style, so I played it."
It absolutely is. Like, you cannot tell me those mimes are not like anime based.
No.
I
No,
have no
wrong.
idea, and I honestly don't care what it looks like, because that really doesn't matter. Why are you avoiding RPGs if they're anime based? Do you have like some issues we need to talk about or something? Like that's
No,
a
they just
crazy
think it
take.
makes them a certain way. Probably.
Yeah, can you not control your impulses or something? Like it
If I
sounds like
look
you
at
need
an anime,
therapy
it's
if
that
you're
big
afraid of
booba,
anime
and I'm gonna
style.
jerk off to it.
One of the Reddit comments says, "Yeah, it's giving I judge without trying." LMAO. My
Wait,
favorite is
giving
when
what?
people act I judge without trying.
Oh.
My favorite is when people act like the parry thing is some insane revolutionary mechanic. No game has ever done this before. Meanwhile, the Mario RPGs have been doing this mechanic since 1996.
Yeah, so many games have been doing that. That's like a hallmark of SNES
Honestly, that's not
RPGs
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
parry
even
systems.
in games that are not just RPG. Excuse me. Even in games that are not like supposed to be RPGs, and it's still pretty common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's common in
But like when I think
obviously
of
fighting games, but
like RPGs with parry, I think Chrono Trigger had it, Super Mario RPG had it obviously, and at least Final Fantasy VI had it. I guess technically three for the US version, but whatever. Final Fantasy VI maybe because I don't think or four might have had it. I don't know. I can't remember, but at least one of them
I
did.
don't, I don't think 7 has parry mechanics.
It does not because I thought it did, and I've
Yeah,
made myself feel really stupid.
it's like so. You know,
Uh,
I know we've posted this as a meme before, but it's like the Last of Us director being like, games used to be uh put a quarter in, jump, go until you die, put another quarter in, and now we have Last of Us, and it's like, 1970s,
yeah, Galaga, Last of Us, no games in between.
no games in between.
damn,
Like that's kind
sounds
of the
about
vibe
right.
I'm getting from the people complaining and being like, "Oh, this is a revolution." It like, I mean, because I was talking to Alex while he was playing it, and I'm like, the the aesthetic for like the combat menu feels very Persona without it being like Persona 5 without it being
A
Persona
ripoff.
based.
As
Yeah,
Yeah.
flashy.
yeah. It's not it's not flashy. It's like steampunk or whatever you want to whatever you want to say the vibe is Victorian, I guess.
Right.
Um, like it, but it's still very much that sleek, uh, fun aesthetic that just kind of bounces off the character instead of it being a menu.
Yeah. Okay, with that, on to Collector's Corner, the weekly segment where we go around and talk about the games we've been playing, the games we've been buying, good things, bad things, and the like. We spin a wheel to determine who goes first. So let's see
Yep.
who we got this week. While it's spinning, who went last week, by the way, or first last week?
I went
Was it- I
last,
think
I
I
can't
think it was
remember
and
who went
me.
first.
I went
Hold on,
last.
let's check the
I know
sheet.
I went last because I rolled the wheel just for fun on it, and it still landed
Oh,
on the
Kyle
other
went
side of the
first.
wheel from my name.
Kyle
Oh
went
yeah, I
first last
did
week.
go first.
Okay, well, Alex, you get to go first this week.
Let's go.
Lame, rigged.
Lame,
Um,
rigged.
because I hosted. As Cameron already mentioned, or Cameron and I both already mentioned, I bought Claire Obscure, and I have been playing it.
Okay, so now
I
that we've
think
been memeing about the response to it, what do you think?
I think it's really fun. I don't think it's genre defining like some people think, but I am having fun playing it.
Well,
Well,
this is
that's
kind of
good.
what games are for, isn't it?
Um, it's been a while since I've had to choose what to put my stats into.
Mm. Yeah,
That's
character
fair.
building.
Yeah. So I did look up like people's opinions on that, and there was like a long video that was like,
That's fun though. Being
for
able to like customize and make it exactly how you want it to be is that's cool.
I watched like a guy break down all the stats, and he's like, the most important is agility. Just put it in agility until you max it out, because you don't want the enemies taking uh, double turns to your turns.
Hmm.
Um, and then I've been
Wait,
playing.
it gives you more turns if you have higher agility?
Yeah,
Seems weird.
I mean, it's not the first RPG to have that
I
though.
feel I figure like the agility would make it easier to dodge their attacks and or like better at like ranged attacks
I
or something
mean,
like that.
if it's treating it as the speed stats stuff, though, then
I
no,
guess that's true. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
it gives
Uh.
you more turns and prevents them from like doing things like, oh, you're 3 turns in, well, they're getting an extra turn because now your speed matches their speed.
kind of like Octopath Traveler, where
Yeah, kind of like that.
Oh, Octopath
if
was a fun ass game.
or like
Shit.
or also Legends Arceus, where it's like, oh, you slow down, so they get 4 or 5 turns or whatever it is,
Mhm.
because you tried to do a power move and you didn't murder him, stupid idiot.
Right.
Right, so I've been doing all of my level stats for the 2 characters I've got right now. The guy played by Daredevil and you Loon, something like that. She's a magic girl. Yeah, that was interesting to find out because I heard the voice him start talking and I was like, really familiar. And I looked it up and it was Daredevil,
Hmm.
The voice actor.
the actor from the show. Charlie Cox
Yeah, but
is the main character in this.
yeah, but that's like you mean he voices that
Yeah.
character? Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And then I've put a lot of time into Rivals, which isn't surprising because of the events running. I want them to stop running so many events, but they're hemorrhaging players because of changes they made to support roles. So they're putting a lot of events in.
I see.
And I played the game of the week. And do anything else? Work was alright. It was long. Cheerleaders were in town,
Hmm.
which just makes it busy.
Oh my gosh, we
We were
so
almost late. That's right.
yeah, Chelsea was like, there's a cheer competition, and then we were running behind, like nobody would let us over. So, I was focusing more on not crashing, and B, getting Alex to work on time. And so we went the normal path. And I'm like, I see the line. I'm like, damn it, Chelsea told me about this. She warned me there were cheerleaders. But it,
Got.
we got.
Well,
But we did not have to take the Skyliner this time.
yeah.
The last time we got stopped by the cheerleaders, Alex had to take the Skyliner in costume to get to work on time.
Damn.
And Horatio would have changed my schedule anyway, my thing anyways, because I asked him about it. And I play the game of the week. Yeah,
Nice.
I think that might be everything for this week. I don't know. It's been like more condensed, but actually trying to play things instead of just staring at screens,
Yeah. Be
do
engaged.
things. Yeah, exactly.
I feel that. All right. Well, let's see who's going next. Looks like Cameron's up.
All right. Okay. Wait. When did it? I Pikmin was last week, right? Yes.
Couldn't
Thank
tell
you.
you.
Yeah.
You mentioned
420.
it last week.
Okay. Okay. Oh, for Grant's sake, I beat Tears of the Kingdom on the last show or before the last show.
About freaking
Um,
time.
yeah. I just there's a point where it's just too much content.
Yeah, you're
Which is
not
kind
getting
of
anything out of the
no.
what you have left to do.
I've already got my money's worth out of it. I ended with over 130 hours, so roughly $2 an hour, or two hours per dollar. Um, yeah, I have gotten plenty of play out of that game.
That is pretty
Um,
good, yeah.
I beat Super Mario RPG, and I went grinded a little bit, beat all the secret bosses. Um, I don't think I'm gonna bother with like the mini games. Um, but I wanted to beat this story. Um, I enjoyed it. It was nice finally finishing the game. Um, I I don't know. Playing game of the week. I'm just like, damn, those modern conveniences are missed. So much right now. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it takes some adjustment.
yeah, but I was like, I need to finish RPG before I start game of the week, because otherwise it's gonna get not fun. So started, finished playing the game of the week. I bought the shirts. The shirts are ordered. Um,
Yay!
Let's
yay,
Shirts.
go.
shirts. Currently waiting
Yeah,
for
I don't
them
know
to
why
ship.
we made it so complicated.
Because it's Cameron.
True,
True.
true, true. Um, Also, we were trying to get a you know a semi
I mean,
decent deal on them,
yeah, we
and
want to
then
make sure we like them. Spending
I was
40
gonna say
bucks a dumb
quality
shirt.
over.
yeah,
They better be
especially like
good, you know.
yeah, exactly, yeah, for how much we're
I
spending,
don't.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't mind spending a little bit of extra money as long as it's a good quality shirt that's gonna last a long time and look good.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was like. I don't want the also it's like the amount of research I had to do on these shirts is insane. The amount of work I had to do on these shirts is insane. So I'm just like, I need these to be actually good. And then because
No.
every single thing was like, we do direct to film, and I'm like, we're going to be in like a theme park sized version of the hottest place in Orlando, which is Toy Story Land. But they're like, because that's what we were comparing Epic to. It's Toy Story Land. They're like, no shade, just like Toy Story Land. I'm like, I'm not dealing with thicker, you know, screen printing. So I had to make sure we weren't going to fucking die walking around Epic. Um, but yeah, it's finally done. Waiting on those. Um, as of right now, UPS still does not have them, so still waiting on them. We also found out that Epic has full size lockers, kind of like Tron, so we won't have to try to use lounge flies or something. We will actually have full size backpacks for carrying all of our merch.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Did I? Oh, I know, I know, I know. So Disney Springs was doing stuff for Star Wars Day, which was yesterday as of recording this, and I made this. It's a little Lego Grogu. Yeah, for free. It was like 50 something pieces.
That's cute.
Yeah. I made one for Alex too, because they're like, how many do you want to make? And I'm like, two. So made one for Alex since he wasn't able to be there.
That
Where was
works.
that at?
Disney
Disney
Springs
Springs.
Lego store.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
They actually started it early, which was convenient for me because Sunday's way harder to get over there than Friday, right after I drop Alex off. Trying to think, did I do? I don't think I did anything else. Because it's just been a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
Trying to get things looking nice. So yeah.
Alrighty. See who's up next.
All right.
Super close. Cooper's got it.
Let's go. The goats.
The goat that went third.
Literally.
That means at least I'm not gonna be last this week. Haha, Grant. Haha.
Claims that
It's
he is
it's
last.
the curse I have to carry for being first the most.
You're
True.
also last the
Also
most.
less than most.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like if I have to be first the most, I also mean I have to
Perfectly
be last the most.
balanced.
Yeah, it's the price I have to pay.
Mhm.
It is. Let's see. I've been playing not a whole lot because of finals. I'll be real, but I'm finishing with all A's this semester, so feeling pretty good about that.
Drink to that.
Okay,
Hell
but are
yeah.
you actually gonna start playing things again, or be like,
No,
I'll kill you?
because I'm taking accounting 2 during the summer, and I actually had to
Yeah, we
like.
were talking about it on the way home from work. How like, yeah, games are nice, but also I want to finish school.
Hey, I really want to be done with school. And accounting 1 was the only class I haven't gotten an A in, and I'm having to take the same professor because she's the only one that teaches accounting, which is awesome. So, but it's online, so it shouldn't be too
You have
bad.
to teach. You have to take service.
I have to take service, yeah.
No,
I
that's
know,
so
dude.
sad.
I don't know if she ever saw what I said, because like Southern Union does like the, hey, tell us how your teacher was. I was not nice
Mm-mm.
about her. Wonder if she ever saw it. I don't know. It was anonymous, I think, but I
On
don't
the
care.
one hand, I hope she did.
She needs to.
Hmm.
I mean, either way, 3.9 GPA, so we'll take it.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess that makes things
Um,
quick. Did you play anything?
this past week I played like very little of the game of the week. Um, did we play anything, Kyle?
You went disc golfing instead of playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Oh yeah,
dare
we
you
went to
go
the.
outside and enjoy your time?
How dare I
Yeah.
do an outdoor hobby? And we went to
Wait,
the
did we
gym.
play anything? I don't think I played anything with you, but
I
I
don't think I
played
played anything with you. I'll be real.
because you were you were doing the stuff for
Criminal justice.
criminal justice. But I played
196
repo.
out of 200 on that exam, by the way. So
Hell
we
yeah,
take
dude.
it. We take those. I missed
Hell
one
yeah.
question, and I feel really dumb because like, what is the most common barrier? I was like walls. Like, duh. No, it's fences. Apparently.
Bruh.
That's what I said. See, Cameron agreed. Yeah, exactly. I said, all right, sure, whatever.
I don't
Um,
know about you, but I see a lot more a lot more walls than I do fences.
that's what
Yeah.
I
Well,
said.
also, especially like now, like at certain points, sure, but like the more apartments that are built, the less you have like
A
proper
fence.
fences. Because even if
Yeah.
okay, even if you have a balcony like we do, which has two fences, this
Okay,
room
but that's more
alone
of
has
like
four walls. Like,
I think
and then
it's less of like a fence and more of like
a railing,
um yeah, a
which I guess
railing.
is a
Yeah.
well, and that's a fence.
I mean in a way,
It's
but it's like
technically a fence,
fences
but
I feel like are above head height. Railings are like waist height.
I I feel like that's splitting hairs, and they're clearly splitting hairs because otherwise fences wouldn't
Yeah.
be considered the correct answer.
Yeah. I
That's true.
played a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel with Andrew the other night. I think that was it, dude.
That was, yeah. What was that? Saturday.
Saturday night, yeah. And then literally I'd been doing finals and stuff.
Well, all
So
right then.
I have one more tomorrow, but literally no matter what I make on it, I still end with an A, so I really don't care.
Huge.
Literally.
All right, well, let's see if I'm gonna go last. Yeah, I'm gonna go last. Kyle, you're up.
Let's
Do it.
go. Let's
Crazy.
The
They
go.
are
universe
a
works in
package
mysterious
duo.
way. Yeah, really. Well, do you think
None
it's
of us
more
in this.
about them being a package duo or me having to go last because I didn't go first?
Maybe a bit
Both.
of both, honestly.
Bit of both.
Little column A, little column B.
I'd
Yeah.
really. We don't keep up with all that, but I'd really like to know how often it's
Um,
Cooper and Kyle, or Kyle and Cooper.
yeah,
Often.
that's the problem. We'd
Like
have to go
quite a
back and
lot, actually.
look at it every week,
Yeah, we're
which
dumb
is
for not keeping
uh,
every
yeah,
order.
yeah. The first and last are the ones that matter because we never know how many people will be on the show. Interesting little
Yeah.
tidbit though. Uh, Cooper, Kyle, and I create half of the bar right now.
We create what?
Like half of the pie graph,
For first
pie
or
chart.
last?
Mm.
For last.
Hmm.
Oh
We
yeah,
we're taking up half of it right now.
nice.
It is also interesting to note that no guests have ever gotten to go first.
Hey,
You don't.
hey, that's not our fault. The wheel is the wheel.
The wheel is the wheel.
I've when I had the wheel last week, I was playing with like amount of time that you could change in the settings. So I like
Yeah.
increased the spend time for me or Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, um, I have not played a ton this week. I'm playing um Lego Hobbit right now. Because I got the Lego. This was on Monday, last Monday after the show. I was looking at Steam, and they had um you could get Lego Hobbit and Lego Lord of the Rings for $7, and I was like, yes, please. So I'm playing the first level in Lego Hobbit right now. I played a little bit of Repo after the wedding on Friday. Also, I went to a wedding on Friday. That was fun. Um, it was for some people I knew from band. That was pretty dope.
Nice.
It was open bar, so I had some
Nice.
some alcohol. It was pretty great.
Some.
Um, well, yeah, I was driving, so
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
didn't have
fair,
much.
fair.
Yeah. Let's see. Honestly, I can't believe I almost forgot this. I bought Elden Ring Night Rain. I got the pre-order for it, so
Nice.
whenever it comes out, I will actually be able to play it. Obviously, I can't yet, but on May 29th, I'll be able to play it, which will be pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
Um, I'm very excited. I got the deluxe edition, which I think was like, hold up, I can check real quick. I think it's like $15, $20 extra, but it gives you some extra playable characters and it gives you access to certain bosses that the base game doesn't have, and it also gives you a digital art book. Um, so yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm very excited about that, but obviously can't play it yet. So um, I have been focused a lot. Honestly, part of the main reason I haven't been playing games apart from finals is the fact that I have been working on getting some props and random shit together for going to Ren Fair. I'm going to the Georgia Ren Fair in Atlanta on
Nice.
Is that
uh,
like a Renaissance thing?
May. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Renaissance Festival. May
Um.
17th and 18th, I'll be in Atlanta doing Ren Fair, so that'll be fun.
Nice. Nice. That. Ooh, I enjoyed when we went. That one time. Um. You know that big sword I have in the basement?
Yes.
Yeah. That. I'm pretty sure that's the one I got it at. It was
Oh yeah.
definitely Renaissance Fair. They were like, the Red Queen. I'm like, I want that one.
I saw it recently somewhere.
Yeah, it was that
Uh,
like
The one in Opelika.
yeah,
yeah, that's right.
almost anything.
Almost anything had it just like behind
Hanging.
the thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
huh, it's really familiar.
I'm like, yeah, it should be.
That's hilarious. Um, but yeah, I've so like my whole group is going as wizards because it's the
Nice.
it's the wizarding weekend and they're like everybody dressed as wizards. So I
You
need
need to
to
get some props to go with those Mimi magician spells that are like, I cast mend butt crack.
oh god.
Or whatever.
Well, I have here actually I have a picture I can send of something that I've already made.
I was gonna say I don't really like the idea of pictured after creation of butt crack.
Well, yeah, yeah, I don't want a picture of a mended butt crack, but I cast
Too bad I
shit
have
pant.
one. Shit man. I made that. It's a little leather bag. I was planning on using it to put my wallet and keys and phone in, but the
Ye
pattern
old
that I was
pouch.
copying, yeah, the pattern I was copying was not long enough to fit my phone. So I'm just really hoping that the pants I end up finding to wear are going to have pockets, because otherwise that would kind of suck. Um,
Are you buying women's
not
pants? Why wouldn't they have pockets?
I don't think that's any of your business, Cameron.
because I may have to make my own if I can't find any that I like for my costume. Because what I have a cloak that I'm gonna wear. It should be coming in the mail. Honestly, it may already be in the mailbox, and I just haven't checked it. I was gonna go over there after the show, and check. It could be out there right now, but I know that it wasn't on the porch whenever I got home. So, it may be coming soon. It may already be in there. I don't know yet. But I got a cloak on the way, and basically my outfit is gonna be like a not like the standard Gandalf sort of wizard with like the super big robe and everything, but like kind of a spell sword. So I want to have like the pants and the tunic rather than like a robe, and then just have like a cloak over that. Um, I do not have a sword, so I will probably also end up getting a sword at the Ren Fair because I was looking at uh, some of the things that Georgia Ren Fair had, and they have like an entire forge in there, and I'm like, that is very cool.
Eh,
I may want to check that out.
they
So
they
I was
also
planning
auction them
on
off.
looking at that.
Like
Yeah,
they do like a little auction. So
yeah, I knew about that too.
it's
Um,
it's nice. It's a good way to get a cheaper sword.
yeah. But that way I could actually be a true spell sword. I'm planning. I have an idea for in wizard fashion. I'm gonna bring a couple of my pipes, and in order to do that, I'm bringing a custom pipe roll. I'm gonna make one out of leather and sew it up. I have a pattern that I'm gonna use for that, or I have an idea of a pattern I'm gonna use. I don't have an actual pattern, but I have a very good idea of what I'm gonna do. And yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
say what you want
That's
about the
about it.
pipes, but real magicians smoke Newports.
Oh, you're right. You're
So
right. Let me just roll up with a pack of
you
camels
should
actually.
you should pull up with the pipe and like stick a cig in the bowl.
Oh yes, my favorite
Between
pipe
that and the
tobacco,
men butt crack
Marlboro
spell, you're
Red.
gonna be the star of the show, dude.
My favorite pipe tobacco, Marlboro Red. I can taste the carcinogens.
uh,
But yeah,
okay. Well, me,
pretty
and
cool.
it's
Pretty cool.
2 weeks. I bought a grill. Haven't even built it yet.
Nice.
Um, I done a lot more work on the house. We bug bombed the hell out of it over the weekend because we left Saturday night, went down to Birmingham, watched the Barber race on Sunday. It was a good time, but it was
For
the
the police.
most boring IndyCar race I've seen because there's no wrecks, no spinouts, no yellow flags at all, like for anything. And also the dude that won the race in like the first 8 laps. It was a 90 lap race, but this dude was like 10 seconds ahead of the rest of the group by the 8th lap or so. And he lapped most everybody in the field. It was like almost unfair. He was just that good. Um, so like
Damn.
the
Good
race was
show.
not thrilling at all. Like it was extremely clean and like always it was a good time, don't get me wrong, but
But what you want is at least one crash or
yeah,
I
something.
like
mean, they don't.
I don't want any dismemberment, but I do want to see someone spin out or something. That's
Right.
always fun. Because the thing about IndyCar is that there's no like modern driving assist at all. There's no ABS, there's no traction control, there's no nothing. It's like as close as you can get to a box with an engine and wheels on it. So it's very difficult to
So
drive quickly.
it's
Uh,
very impressive that there wasn't any, but it's just kind of
Yeah, like
lame that there wasn't.
there hasn't been they said there wasn't a yellow flag in the IndyCar series all season except for the first lap of the first race. There was a yellow flag. But we watched that was the fourth or fifth race at Barber, and they said since the very first lap of the very first race, there hasn't been a single yellow flag. It's been super clean racing. And it's probably because that one guy has literally gotten first place in every race except for like one, and he got second in it. So like everybody else probably doesn't even care. He's just
Yeah,
mopping the
probably not.
floor. But it was a good time, and then I had to drive back and repack and fly out this morning, and yeah, I'm in back into Corn Capital for work
Yeah.
stuff.
Nice.
I got to play so many video games on the trip up here, which was nice because I have not had that kind of time to
Oh,
just
that's
sit and
nice.
play video games.
Not
Um,
real.
so I drained my Steam Deck. That was the first time I've done that. And like it wasn't I was fully aware I was gonna do that because I played Forza Horizon 5 for like 2 hours. That's gonna kill that thing.
Yeah.
Um,
How long did this
but
take?
in total, probably like 4 or 5 hours. I played Forza Horizon 5 for not 2 hours, but I played it for like an hour. And then I played the rest of what I played was like either indie games or like emulating SNES games. I was playing some more Earthbound.
Right.
So like that stuff is sips on the battery. But I got it down to like 20% or something like that. Um, so
Nice.
I played a ton of Steam stuff. Victory Heat Rally, man, every time I go back and play more of that game, I'm more and more impressed. For $15, that game is so worth it. I'm so happy with that game. It's a great indie game. I recommend keeping an eye out for that on the summer sale. Hopefully it goes on sale.
Hmm.
Even though it's only 15 bucks full price. Played a lot of that. Played a lot of the game of the week. Played uh Pokemon Emerald a little bit, and also a lot of Pokemon X because I've just been dying to get to Pokemon X, and I was like, I'm not gonna finish Emerald. I just like want to keep going, whatever. So I just eventually got over myself and started playing Pokemon X anyway. I've been having a crazy nostalgia trip, um, because this is the Pokemon. It's not the first ones that I played or the ones that I like the most, but it's the one I remember the most because it's at the junction between my age and when I cared about Pokemon intensely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I've just got a lot of memories with Pokemon X and also a lot of stuff that I just forgot that like it's bringing it back, playing it again now. Um, so I'm having a fun time. It's so funny like now that since I've done this, I can really study the whole like babyfying of the series thing, like how it
Yeah.
gets easier throughout time and going back and like yeah, Pokemon X does some frustrating stuff. Like I can sense the
Well,
foreboding that is Sun and Moon if I ever decide to play that because I
yeah,
know it's all in there and like the
you've
light
got
version of it is in
Worse.
X.
you've
Uh
got Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum's Elite Four, which is killer. That like actually strategize and do
yeah.
like be if you don't go in, they will be take your lunch
Yeah.
money, kid.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, 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 we got to start making it easy.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know
also,
why they started doing that. Cause I mean, I get that it's supposed to be a kid game, but also like it's really fun to have a little, like at least a little bit of challenge.
yeah, I don't know. I see some of the stuff I see what they're doing, some of it I don't. It is a sobering reminder that Pokemon X runs like shit sometimes. Especially if you're using 3D. Oh, man. It, it's like, and it sucks because like when I play my 3DS, which isn't all that frequently anymore, but like when I do, I make an effort to use the 3D because I didn't when I grew up, and it's like so cool. And the new 3DS 3D with the eye tracking and all that stuff is perfect. It's really easy to use. Um,
Hmm.
so like I try to, but man, you get like straight up 10 FPS in battles, especially double battles. Oh God, it's so bad. I can't wait to get to Mega Evolutions and see how 3D goes in that. I'll probably get like 5 FPS straight
Oh
up.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
in
that I feel like that's why they removed triple battles as like an option at all, because it's so laggy, dude.
yeah. And
They
but
were
in
going
2D
wild.
it's fine. I don't really notice any dips. I've noticed maybe like one frame dip in 2D, so it's fine. It's really when you use 3D is it bad. Um, Also does not look super great anyway, despite the low frame rate. But I don't know. It's if nothing else, this is just nostalgia bait for me. So I'm having a
Yeah.
great time remembering all that stuff. And also carrying around my 3DS. I tried to street pass somebody today because I was like, I'm going through three different airports. Maybe there's a chance. I did not get one, but I'm gonna try again on the way back. You bet.
Dang.
I'm gonna leave it on
Hopefully.
in my bag. Um, it also was cool getting looks from people at the at the airplane when I put my Steam Deck away. I was playing Forza Horizon 5, I put that away and I pulled out my 3DS and started playing dog shit Pokemon instead. They were like,
They're
"Dude,
like,
what is this wrong with this guy? He's got some
Grant,
autism or something."
you should have just been like, this sucks. Could it like as loud as you could have been.
man, this sucks.
I hate this game.
Nah, you just keep going back though. You just pull out a GBA after.
Naturally.
Um, so yeah, I played a lot of games today and it was very nice, and I plan on doing that on the way back. I really just do the next couple
Let's
days because I won't have
go.
much to do after work.
Yeah, there's
Um,
nothing to do.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boring.
And I
Boring.
know I said in the chat before the show that I wasn't going to go to the game stores today, but I ended up having more time than I thought. And also, my hotel that I found last time and I now prefer is like literally walking distance from it. Um,
Nice.
and the half price books too. So I went there. Half price books is on some shit. If anybody that works there listens to this podcast, you should literally burn that store down. The prices I saw were insane, dude. I was
They were
like,
not half at all.
no, the most entertaining part of my visit to the half price books was when I sneakily farted super loud and nobody heard it. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Was looking at the games and the most fun part about it was farting in the store and then leaving. Um,
That's so crazy.
they had two different copies of Wii Sports, the paper booklet thing for 25 bucks a piece.
What?
Uh, they had a they were selling a copy of Final Fantasy on the NES for like 30 bucks untested.
Lord.
They had a sealed copy of Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright on the 3DS for 150, which actually isn't all that bad because it's sealed. Um,
Wait, how much?
150
150.
That's really not bad based on some of the
for
prices.
its sealed. Yeah, I mean I'll buy it for it if you want. I'm not gonna buy it. I think I
Oh, I
already have.
already
No, I
own
got
it.
it from yeah, I got it from the Gamers World in Huntsville too, not too long ago for way
I
cheaper than
own.
that.
Yeah, I bought it at launch.
But it was
I
mostly just stupid garbage. Everything that was there was like I almost bought Hyrule Historia. They had that. It was like 10 bucks. So I was like, I might, but ended up not really. 'Cause I don't care. And then I went to the game store that I actually care about that's across the street. Their prices are also kind of atrocious, and I like normally I always find like a couple pretty good things there, and like I've obviously found a lot of handhelds there for good money, but Um,
Yeah.
Not this time. Everything was full price, or
Damn.
some BS. A lot of game. I found a few games I wanted, but they do that thing where they buy replacement cases online and then inkjet print cover art and shove it in there, and it's so ugly.
Yeah,
Um, but I did find a copy of No More Heroes 3 for the Switch for $12, which
that's
is
not bad.
Oh, that's
uh
not terrible.
yeah, no, I saw one price that put me off, and so I started looking them up. And I'm not a stickler. I'll pay a little bit over what they go for a brick and mortar store because I get it, operating costs and whatnot.
Mhm.
Most of it was rip off, but this was a whole $1 undervalue. So I was like, yeah, I'll
Nice.
buy it anyway.
They're like, it's
Oh
been stuck
yeah.
on the shelves because nobody wants it.
Yeah. Um, the more fun part was there was an Xbox guy in there, and he was bitching about the tariffs and discussing with the guy at the store who clearly was not interested in talking to him anymore. He seems like he'd been there for like an hour before I got there. One of those people. Um,
Right. Just want
so
someone to complain to, and this
yeah,
will work
This
there.
underpaid employee,
and
this
then
perfect person.
the best part was after I checked out, his girlfriend yelled was like, "No, we can't buy that." Like it's like pretty loud in the store. I was trying not to laugh. I didn't want to be rude, but it was funny. And then there was some other dude that was like indescribable as a person. Uh, he was trading in some cards or something, and instead of talking about the cards, he was telling the other worker there about his most recent hospital experience, which was graphically detailed. Um,
Mm.
so not a good trip today. It was not a good trip to the
No,
store, but I don't know. And yeah, that's all I got. So
You just want to scream into the endless void. We have AI now. Just go and type your manifesto into the AI
type your manifesto is crazy.
instead of screaming at the poor employee, underpaid employees.
yeah, like that guy's just trying to ring up magic cards or something like that, and he's like, "Yeah, I got 27 shots in the stomach, and my stomach was turning all black, and blah, 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 blah." I keep going and going, describing like worse and worse in detail. Like, dude, sir, this is a
Shut
Wendy's.
up.
Anyway, okay, game of the week, Earthbound.
Yeah.
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 Um,
What a good game.
it is just so charming. Cameron has a point, brought it up before the show that it's, or maybe during the show, I don't know. You already said it was like
It was
a
right before the show, yeah.
pretty hard to adjust to old RPG
Oh yeah,
methodologies
that was
after
yeah.
playing new games. But
That was comparing it to Mario RPG, like the
yeah,
modern
yeah,
version. Yeah.
right.
I feel
Well,
like
his big problem is the inventory system.
the inventory is so trash, dude.
Yeah.
Like, but that's because it's kind of like right on that cusp of key items. Like if they did a modern, just do Mario RPG again. Like just bring it up to modern day. You don't even really have to like,
Yeah, I could
make
see
it
where
easy
infinite
to do.
invent
Or
to
like no, you don't even need that. I just need a key item slot for each character so that
yeah
I'm not like, oh well, I can't carry, the receiver phone. I need I need to clear some inventory space. Like it is just infuriating.
yeah because
Uh,
an infinite inventory would break the game, but like,
You don't
key
have to have
items
you
inventory
don't have to
would
have an
help.
inventory like or a no inventory limit, but just make it a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit
Mm.
easier to shuffle items around.
Like
You
Thousand
want
Year
that to
Doors
make it easy.
inventory, where
be
there's
able
a
to
key
trade, dude.
inventory.
Well, even just Mario RPG, that's in the same system.
Can't you trade items?
You, you
Like in
have
the
you
inventory
have
menu,
well wait, I don't know if
you
I
can
don't
shuffle them around between inventory.
uh,
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
can.
think if
Yeah,
Mario RPG had did that have key items originally? I assume it did.
I would think so.
Yes,
Um,
because I mean the remake is like almost literally the same game.
yeah, just slightly. easier because you have the triple attacks and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely took some getting used to for me too, and I had to abandon my save that I had on my Switch because I'm moving away from playing emulated games on things that I can't control. So I had to restart, which sucks. But close to, I'm like three-quarters of the way back to where I was, and getting to play it again, I was kind of dreading it, having to start over, but now that I understand like the gist of Earthbound, it has been way easier and also way more fun, and I've been able to focus on like the art style more and like the soundtrack. The
It's
soundtrack
so
is
good.
very
The
good. It is a
soundtrack is
very good
really good.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
so much unique music in here.
Yeah. And the graphical style in battles, like those wavy background stuff,
Yeah,
not too many people know, but like that's pretty impressive programming for the SNES.
Yeah.
Like it's not super difficult, like doing it on a Commodore 64 would be way more impressive, but like it still takes a lot of work to code stuff like that on the SNES, even though it had the tools to help you. So like it's it's really easy for me to appreciate that game because I know the technical aspect of the SNES enough
Really
to
impressive for
yeah.
like
its time. Yeah.
yeah.
So, Cameron said I should mention this because I brought it up to him, but he was too far. In ONET, there's the Treehouse Secret
The
Club.
clubhouse. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Secret
secret
Hmm.
clubhouse.
Club. If you go, so you have to go. Give me a second to find instructions because it's a little weird. Is a hidden building in ONET. You have to go behind the library and behind the lookout, move right into the trees and then north along the path, and you'll run into the treehouse. And Ness's friends will give him the baseball cap, which is all right. Um,
For early game.
Oh,
yeah,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
plus six
I
defense.
do know about that
Yeah.
because I found that on my first playthrough without looking it
Yep.
up. I just saw there was a hole in the forest and I was like, okay, so that's a place to go, right? Like I know this trick. And I just like kept walking around the forest at every single spot that I could stop at until I found oh.
Yeah, I know it's there. I always just forget the exactly where, and I wanted to make. But it sells for 100, but it's plus six defense. Pretty good for early game.
Yeah, it gets outclassed fairly quickly, but it's not bad. I
How
think
far did you guys play?
I'm
Just out of
currently
curious.
playing. Like I'm
Like not at
actively
all.
playing while we're recording.
Oh,
I played to the big step, and then went back to Claire.
okay. But you've beaten the game before. I remember you beat that on Wii
I
U, right?
Yeah, I've basically beaten it. I guess stopped me because
Ah,
uh, it's just a difficult boss fight if you're not
yeah.
prepared. And I was definitely not prepared, and then you're just stuck, and it's like, well, I can grind, but I'm gonna burn all my items to grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's like a random memory that I always keep in the forefront, but literally every time I've played Earthbound, I think about watching you play it on the Wii U.
Literally.
And like, nothing interesting happened. Like, that's the story. That's just it. I don't remember anything else. I just like, that's the memory that keeps coming back.
Alex is
It's weird.
playing it on the Wii U.
Yeah, he's just
Nice.
Well,
there.
I made like progress fast from what I remember. I wasn't like,
Yeah, and like that was at a time when I was still very much educating myself on video games. Like I was kind of getting into it real. I mean, the Wii U is what kind of got me into video games hardcore.
yeah.
Like more than just Call of Duty on Xbox or whatever. So like watching that, I was like, that's weird because the graphics were so weird to me at the time. And even already I knew what the Super Nintendo was. I had no idea about the RPG zone at the time though. And like seeing all the background stuff and the weird music and like what's going on. It was,
It's
I guess
it is
I don't know, it's just
so
stuck.
unique. But Earthbound got screwed by the marketing, though. Let's be so for real.
Yeah, and it released like super late in the SNES's life, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. and I'm pretty sure they also bundled it with the, yeah, like the big box was the only release of it because they wanted to give everybody a strategy guide because that was still when they thought Americans were too stupid to understand RPGs.
I mean, they're not wrong based on
I
how
mean, we're
people are like,
stupid. I think we can understand
yeah,
RPGs, but like that doesn't require proper education. Stupid means something
true,
else in this context. We can
Yeah.
play video games. You don't have to be smart to play video games.
true,
No.
true.
But yeah, great game. Another reason why the SNES is the best.
Hmm. Um, dude, it's just it's so good. Like, what other game would give you the chance to fight a tent?
Exactly.
Very few. Let's be real.
Yeah, true, true. Um, I feel like my only problem is there's times when it's just like I don't actually know where to go.
Yeah, the other thing about old school RPGs is that they really lean on you taking the time to
Getting
talk to
the
everybody and like do
Yep,
all the stuff because that's the only
and
way you're
making
gonna figure
sure
it
you
out.
actually yep,
Yeah, because like the whole thing in Tucson where you just have to like you just can't progress until you give $200 to the Apple dude.
Apple
Like
That was
and
kind. That was kind of
No, you
bullshit,
do
right?
not have to pay uh the
orange
dumb
kid.
kid.
You
You
just have
only
the
have to
Apple
pay
kid.
the Apple. Yep.
the Apple kid is the dumb kid.
No, Apple kid's the smart one because he makes you all the inventions.
Well, yeah, but he
Orange
doesn't
kid
act
is
like it.
the
The smart, I mean, like the orange kid is the one that's like he's like pretentious smart. Like he's not
yeah,
he
Steve Jobs.
he's high on himself. But yeah, like the fact that you just like it's just like random stuff like that, and I don't think it's a problem. I understand you can't really put tutorials in a game as big as a SNES game,
Well,
and so
that's
like
why
you
they
rely
sold
on
it
that
with
stuff.
a manual, the
Yeah,
guidebook.
but that's just
True.
like if you just don't have the patience to go play an RPG and walk around and experience, I don't know, play the role, like it says
yeah.
in the genre, then that's your own problem. I don't, whatever. I'm not gonna judge you
I think
for not being patient enough to do it, but like if you're not
Yeah,
gonna take the
no.
time to do it, why are you?
Why are you doing it in the first place?
I
Yeah.
think I don't have that opinion because I've played the vast majority of the game, like 99%, other than just losing a million times. So I just kind of know what to do for those weird. Oh, I need to get the pencil eraser. Okay, let me go pay the kid.
Yeah. Um, but okay, to uh on your point of you need to listen to what the all the characters are saying. Uh in the fight with Master Belch, you have to give him the jar of honey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that
Hold on, we
because
can cover that in a sec. It's in the well, but interesting.
okay, okay.
Um, but yeah, the
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it, dude. I like I feel like I don't know where I stopped when I was playing either on the Wii U or on the SNES Classic, but I I think I'm past where I was.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't know.
that's possible.
I
Time
think
they just remake the trilogy as one consistent art style and give us the
only in
third
our
one.
dreams, dude. Only in our dreams. I think that
Featuring Lucas from Smash Bros.
Earthbound can get away. Well, I guess this is more a comment about what makes a good RPG, especially old school RPGs. Old school RPGs are good when, yeah, they're gonna make you talk to everybody and interact with the town and be patient and all that stuff, but they make it entertaining because Earthbound's dialogue outside of key information is literally drugs. It's psychedelics, dude. Nothing makes
It's
any sense.
so
Everything's so out of left field. There's just people doing weird stuff all the time, constantly tweaking out, and like literally everybody's on drugs. It's just
uh
Dude,
weird.
The
and
Earthbound trailer is basically like that for when they re-released it in Earthbound Beginnings.
Yeah.
It's just talking about how strange the game is.
like
Yeah, or like you talk to
You're
somebody
freaking out
and
because you don't know what's going on because everybody's attacking.
yeah, like
well,
you
the goal
find
is
somebody random and you just walk up to them and they look like a normal person, but they just say like, I don't know, something about burritos.
here's one.
Totally
Here's one.
irrelevant.
Okay, so outside of Onet, I think either Onet or Tucson, um, there's a house, right? And there's a realtor right outside it. Trying to sell people the house. He's like, uh, but when you can't pay for it, he's like, you can't afford $7,500. It was a waste of time talking to you. It's like
Yeah.
I'm a child. But then the sign next to the house says, even if you're poor, come and see how easy it is to own a luxurious second home. It's like
Yeah,
Bruh.
this
that's
game
where
is
the real
ahead of its
charm.
time, dude.
Yeah, that's where the real charm is in Earthbound. It's
Or
just the flavor text of everything.
even better, when you meet um oh the five, the band, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
The
they're
Runaway
taking
Five.
you, yeah, the Runway Five, yeah, and they're taking you to threes. Uh, I have a screenshot that says, "Hey, sidewalk, get out of my way!" It's like this
Yeah,
game
it's
is
so surreal. It was yeah, it really was ahead of its time because it was surrealist before like surrealism humor was really a like a huge genre. Like now that's like how everybody laughs at is just being surreal. But in 1996, that was like I mean, I don't know. You get like people would get really upset by you talking like that in real life. They think you have like a problem.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Great game. Uh
absolutely highly recommend.
yeah. Sleeper hit.
If you
Agreed.
if you're bad at RPGs,
Right.
maybe get a guide.
Or just
They're
play on an emulator on SNES Classic or something so you can save state and rewind because it makes it a
that's what I had
lot
to do.
easier. Just suck it up. You're bad at video games and that's okay. Because I do it.
Yep. I when I was fighting Master Belch, I got stuck. I was like, I don't want to pay the 200 or 300, whatever it was going to be to revive Jeff and Paul. So I was like, right before that fight and grind up a little more without having to burn all this money.
Are you admitting to cheating on the pod work?
Man.
I'm
Absolutely.
it, in that case, it's barely cheating though, because all I did was lose the fight.
That's what a cheater would say.
Yeah, I'd be using save states because I will be the first to admit that I'm bad at RPGs because I really
I don't
don't
think a
like
cheater
most
would have lost the
RPGs
fight.
still. So
That's crazy.
like the fact that I am playing RPGs like this much is abnormal to me still because
Yeah.
I've like I just don't do that. All right. So yeah, Earthbound. Play it if you haven't.
Yeah.
Solid game. Yeah.
Indeed. Very good.
Demand of physical copies for Clair Obscure Expedition 33 leads to sold out copies across the globe. The company apologized and assured customers that they are working towards restocking.
Crazy.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. The game's not going to be rare and sold out. They like money. They're going to make a lot more copies.
Hmm.
Alex, that's what you were looking for at Target, right?
I was just checking to see, but yeah.
You never know. They have lucked out sometimes.
Until Dawn video game writers not credited in the movie, and they're not happy about it. There's an Until Dawn movie. Have we been talking about this
Yeah,
and
Um,
it
I'm
looks
just forgetting?
horrible.
Yeah.
I think we
It looks
maybe
very
meant
very.
Alex and I have talked about it a fair bit because it keeps coming up on YouTube ads on the TV.
Wasn't it like
Yeah.
the
And
Minecraft movie? Or
It
Uh,
was.
We
something
saw,
else.
yeah, we saw a
it's
trailer for it on the
so,
Xbox, didn't we?
dude, it is not like the game at all. Which, I mean, fine, sure, we can't complain that it's not like the game.
But
If
they're
they're gonna,
basing it on the game, so they still should have credited the game developers.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
The fact that it's not like the fact that it like the way that they're presenting it is not at all how the game plays doesn't matter. They're still using the idea of the game in
they're
order to
still
make
well, they're
the
still
show
using the
unique.
IP. They're still using the IP. That's the main thing.
That's what
Also,
it boils down to. Yeah.
like, why do we have controversies about credits so much? Does nobody understand what credits are? It's text on a black screen. Can you not just add a line?
Real, real.
I think that's the
Brother,
thing I'm
nobody
sure.
looks at the
Yeah.
credits
Credits
anyway.
are
Like
yeah.
they're gonna
Credits
Google it
are
if they
already 20.
care.
Credits are already like 20 minutes. What's the? Why
Yeah, this
can't
is
you
like
just
the
put?
silliest controversy to have, because like, can't you just add a line, bro?
No, it's definitely stupid, but
I mean, it's only stupid because they're not doing it. That's what makes it
no,
Yep.
stupid.
that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
what?
Like
Like,
it's stupid that they won't.
yeah, it's stupid that we have to bring this up. Like, was it really that hard?
Yes, apparently.
Um, Eric Barone talks about Stardew Valley and Hunt the Chocolatier in a new interview. I did watch that. Basically, all I got out of it was he's like, okay, so Stardew Valley is like your real down to earth kind of thing. So what if we took that and just made it not real, like ethereal and you know, wondrous, whimsy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and they're showing some more gameplay out there, and it literally is like, yeah, I can kind of see how this is just going to be like Stardew Valley, but mythical. And like,
Mhm.
obviously, it's not going to be about farming as much. It's going to be, I assume, about making chocolate, um, but in a mythical way. Yeah, it's a good interview. It's a good watch.
Nice.
I will take any and all opportunity to shout out my boy, the
That's right.
realist.
Yeah, true, true, true.
Um, Banjo-Kazooie sequel chances are better than zero, but not much, says composer Grant Kirkhope.
Well, it's still dead.
Oh yeah.
Banjo doesn't exist till people.
I was gonna say Banjo-Kazooie 2, brother. Banjo-Kazooie 1 is so old that that needs a remake first. What are you gonna make people do?
True.
Buy an N64 or God forbid emulate N64 games? Because
Well,
that
no, hold
sucks.
on. They released it with Rare Replay.
Oh no, you're
It's
gonna make
not
them buy
really
an
sold
Xbox?
anymore.
I don't. But also, like, I don't know, just go like, uh, all N64 games have that issue. Like we were talking about with Earthbound, it's just like hard to play with modern expectations.
True.
Hmm. I don't know if I want Microsoft touching it though.
Yeah. No.
No, I
That's where you
don't.
get nuts and bolts.
I think I'd rather just stop playing video games.
Yeah.
You'd rather
So
stop
yeah,
playing video games than let Microsoft touch games that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
whenever.
That's the real.
So I guess it kind of got a remake ish, retouch up with the X 360 version in 2008.
Cool.
Ugh, that makes me uncomfortable. Uh, HD native widescreen support, updated controls, other features like nodes being saved per world, not having to be like, oh, I got 99 and I
Oh yeah.
left. Now I got to go back and recollect the 99
Right,
plus the
yeah.
one I
I
missed.
think, and that's on Game Pass. They have that on Game Pass, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Uh, so yeah, it's even then the 2008 version is old enough. It needs just to be stripped down and redone completely. Let's be honest. Like get into a
Yeah. Ed Anaziata, creator of Echo the Dolphin, announces that remakes of the original games as well as a new third game are in development. So,
Interesting.
Echo the Dolphin's back, baby.
Huge.
But does anybody care?
I do only because Echo the Dolphin to me is one of like those meme video game mascots, but like it was funny a decade ago, kind of like when people talked about the Genesis a lot more. It was like, what am I gonna play? Echo the Dolphin? Like
Mhm.
so I don't actually care about the game. I just think Echo the Dolphin is a good scapegoat bully. It's like Bubsy or something. Just kind of goofy and like people know who he is, but I don't know. There's not a lot of substance.
I've never heard of it, so it's news to me.
It's a pretty acclaimed game for the
I've
Genesis. Um,
I've played it. I think it was on one of their emulator things.
Mm, gotcha.
yeah, they definitely put it in like all the re-releases that Sega does, and the Genesis Classic was on there and whatnot. They seem to like it a lot. Older than Google, this Elder Scrolls wiki has been helping gamers for 30 years.
Ooh,
Um,
good job.
Yeah, that's kind of impressive, actually.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad that it's like still up,
Mhm.
because that means that this web page has survived since the days like the early internet days when it
It also
was
means that
like
it's actually like helpful information. If it,
probably yeah. Yeah, the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages.
hmm,
Yeah, you can tell this is an old website. I mean, like it's new, but it's also old. The
yeah,
formatting is. Um, well, that's cool. I've heard that Oblivion Remastered is like, I mean, everybody's obviously like, oh my God, right now because Oblivion has a lot of street cred as a game, but it seems like it's really just like this. I don't know. I've seen mixed opinions on if any enough was
it's
actually
basically the
done or
exact
if it's
same
just a
game but with better graphics, is what I've seen.
yeah, like it's kind of just
Which,
like
like,
a cash grab. It's not really like an
yeah, well,
actual.
as you
Always.
said, Oblivion is like it's really good. It has a lot of street credit. I mean, it was an amazing game.
Yeah, it's a great
I
game,
think
but
it's
like
just, I think it's just Bethesda wanted money while they wait to bait. Like Todd Howard got tired of trying to tell people that Elder Scrolls 6 was on the way because they know that he knows that nobody's believing him.
yeah, I've been following it decently close on the Steam Deck subreddit because it's
Yeah,
getting interesting as like we're hitting a point where the Steam Deck is I don't know, starting to run out of power a little bit depending on your use case. And also the Steam Deck verified thing is not always correct for like the latest hot AAA games because they just don't run as well as they say they do, and that's kind of scummy.
yeah.
Um, like Oblivion was verified, but it runs pretty rough in some spots, and a lot of people were like, "Bro, it's like you might as well just buy Oblivion and mod it and play it on your Steam Deck instead of buying this,
Yep.
because like you're gonna get the same experience, and that game's gonna run way better on Steam Deck than the remastered." And it's also probably going to give you better battery life too. I mean, it depends on how heavy you go on the mods, but like it's just they're like it's the remaster's cool, but you might as well just buy the original Oblivion and mod it to be HD because that's what it is.
Mhm. I feel like there was another game that did that quite more recently, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like that happens pretty frequently, honestly. I don't know. It's like this is just the latest example of it, but it happens
Mhm.
all the time. Hollow Knight Silksong will be playable in September 2025 at an Australian museum. So you
As
heard
you
it
should.
here. Our third Silksong fans get a ticket to Aussie. They showed it was going to be. We already talked about this, right? It's supposed to be on the Switch too,
Yes,
but they
because it
didn't
was
actually
that
say when.
they didn't say when. They said it's supposed to be this year, but they've said it's supposed to be this year for a long time. You know, every time they bring a new trailer for it, they say it's coming out this year.
Platinum Games isn't letting Babylon's Fall flop stop potential plans for a new online action game. Well, what was
Wait,
the prob was what was the problem with Babylon's Fall? That was a while ago. I can't remember. Was it because the game sucked, or was it because of like microtransactions and stuff?
Probably
um,
both.
Yeah, probably.
just make good games. I don't know. I don't know
I
what
don't
you
know.
want.
It was in Scott's video. He talked about it.
Yeah, and going off what Cameron just said, it should not be hard for Platinum Games to make good games. They're Platinum Games. They've already done it like a few times.
Um, let's see. Someone said this game came out of nowhere with no real marketing, no hype, no nothing. Everyone just went, "The fuck is this? And why does it cost so much money?"
Hmm.
Um,
Me too, for real. What the fuck is this, and why does it cost so much money?
Let's take a quick gander at IGN's review of Babylon's Fall. 4 out of 10. It is difficult
okay.
for a game to be truly uninteresting. That's the first sentence. So I think
Oh
that is
god.
our clue. It
Oh
requires an
jeez.
unlikely convergence of events to perfectly thread the needle between good and terrible to create something remarkably unremarkable. Functional and largely inoffensive, but also joyless and flat. Babylon's Fall is one such convergence. The generic dark fantasy storyline is pointless, and the worst in class textures and character models suck any visual appeal out of what could have been an interesting painted canvas art style. Combat and level design are both competent but plain in single player or co op, with just enough good ideas sprinkled in to keep things from immediately growing stale, though it inevitably goes stale anyways. So, no, I did not stay glued to my seat for its 15-hour campaign. And no, I probably won't stick around for anything in the end game. That's the first
Hmm.
paragraph. So it sounds like it just kind of sucked.
Yeah, sounds like it was a shitty game.
Mhm.
Come on, Platinum Games, you can do better than that.
Apparently not.
Evil Dead is being delisted apparently. It's been delisted on both PS4 and the Epic Game Store for some undescript reason.
Interesting.
Good riddance, I guess. I don't know. Stellar Blade's hyper-realistic $3,600 statues sold out in minutes. Of course they did.
Some
You,
people just have too much money.
some people have too much money, and you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. We already know what's going on here. Everybody knows. It is fun. Like, I always forget that Wario64 will tweet out stuff for like those big horny big booba statues, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll open my notifications and like see something that catches my eye on board or whatever, and like I'm at work or something, and all of a sudden I scroll past a tweet that is like, who? People are buying that, and also it's like $600.
Yep.
Hmm. GameStop Canada has been acquired by French-Canadian entrepreneur Stefan Tetrol and is set to relaunch EB Games Canada. So a gamer that's rich is like, I will personally stop GameStop from dying. What an honorable,
You know, honorable, I guess, but like, I
futile.
think definitely futile. I guess it's not the worst case though, because I've seen two posts in the last week of people being like, "I traded in my entire amiibo collection," and it's like, 1,200, 1,300. I'm like, You got it in cash, right? So the GameStop doesn't close on you? Like,
No, GameStop money.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of money.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, it
Like
is a lot of money,
even with
but
the console, even with the console being uh released, that's a lot of money to be like, let me have it in gift cards. Like,
yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I can kind of
I don't
understand
know.
it though. Just get rid of it. Just get it out of my
Yes,
face. Because like
I
trying to sell all that stuff to make the money that it's worth, or even like getting close to it, is gonna take so much longer and be so much more effort. Um,
the guy that posted about it on our social Mabo was like, no, I keep seeing, I needed to do it now before the prices plummet because everyone, I keep seeing people be like, I'm gonna get out, and I'm like, but to GameStop for not cash? I don't know, like, even, I don't know, it ain't. I think I'd take the little bit less at that point. Like if you're, that desperate to have it, at least have it so that you're not stuck being like, all right, I sure do have these gift cards.
I mean, to be
Because it's
fair, the
like,
gift cards will do a lot more for you than an amiibo will, I guess. I don't
I
know.
guess short term.
Just trying to play devil advocate.
Yeah, no, fair, fair. But
I mean,
it's
but
it's
you're
like
right
it's
though.
like
That's
that.
like even with the Switch, even if you
Playing
got
with
some
fire,
stuff,
dude.
that's what
Like
you probably got like 700
double
bucks
the
left in credit.
at least. Like even if you buy hell, I mean, even if you buy everything including the amiibo, like that's yeah, because you're not. Let's be real, you're not gonna buy everything that's coming out with the Switch. So you're banking on GameStop being open long enough to burn several $100s. Oh, I don't know about that one. You know, like that's my problem. It's like, yes, I agree that the prices are going to start falling a little bit, but you're getting like $5 an amiibo. I think one of them said it was like 5.38 or something an amiibo. It's like I get, like the Animal Crossing one's fine. You're not really going to be able to sell those, and obviously, fine. You know, take ones like that to GameStop. But one of them posted like Solaire. Like if that's the legit Solaire, that's an easy 60, $70.
No, it's easier to sell it to GameStop.
I mean, it is all in one fell swoop,
The
fine.
the yeah
But
the getting credit for it is what makes it a really hard pill to swallow.
yeah, it's not like fine. Yes, get rid of if you're desperate for money, fine. That's one way to do it. Getting that much credit for a store that has been, you know, it literally GameStop literally exists because of Wall Street Bets. Like at this point, like let's be so for real. It's just like hell yeah, it does. GameStop still exists because it was a meme stock. So like,
I don't know. No, the share price doesn't keep him alive or not. I mean, it kind of does,
but
but
it did give them some money back.
it got it got pumped and dumped. So I don't know. I don't really know if that benefited them much at all. I think they might have just
Some
benefited off the
AMC,
publicity more than anything.
yeah, AMC definitely benefited off of being a meme stock more than GameStop did, since they kept being like, actually, we're just going to keep opening stock options here.
Yeah.
Buy more stock, give us your money. But it's like I don't. It's just so much money to have on a gift card. Um, I found the old Hastings gift card that I won during that Mario Kart tournament. I'm like, they did not last much longer after I won that. It's like gift cards are a risky business, especially for brick and mortars that have been struggling.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my rant on it. Though it's not the amount of money that sell it for what you think it's worth. but physical cash is always better than gift cards.
Um, Discord is scanning some users' faces and IDs to experiment with age verification features.
I don't like that. Stop doing age verification.
It is a I just hate this entire situation because you either continue just letting people that are too young to access something like porn and just fry their brain at an early age, or you ruin everybody's privacy. Like it's
Those are the two
it
options.
Well,
sucks. It's
fuck
like, do
them
we
kids
keep,
then.
yeah, like, do we keep turning our kids into just gooners? Like, are we just gonna start raising a army of gooners now as a society, or are
Yes.
we just gonna not have any privacy anymore? Because like
Those
you
are the
can
two
educate all
options.
you want, you could do all you want. Hormones don't work that way. Kids are gonna do what they're gonna do, and I mean,
This is because of Australia and Europe.
checks out.
Well, they're not the only ones either though. You've also got
I know, but
states
it's
like
being tested in their countries
interesting,
because of their
interesting.
laws.
Yeah, like there's states that are doing it here,
Texas.
but
I think Florida was trying to. They might. I
there's a
I
decent number
know.
of states that do it
Yeah,
these days. The Yeah, but like the enforcement here is obviously not.
it's lacking.
Yeah, I mean, like all you need is a VPN. But in Europe, that's not going to fly. Like they're a lot more strict about that, so it makes sense
They're a
that
lot more
Discord's having
strict
to
about
do it
everything
because,
though.
yeah,
That's
like
the
the
crazy
US
thing.
wouldn't actually make Discord do something like this, but the EU totally would.
Mhm.
Someone said
Um,
it's not gonna fly because minors cannot legally consent to high-risk processing like biometrics without approval. Inhibiting users who refuse face scans could be considered coercion, which makes any consent invalid.
Mm.
So, government might get sued.
sounds like maybe we should just be better parents a little bit.
Oh, definitely, definitely. That's not
How
happening.
about, yeah, how about that? How about we talk to our kids about what's going on with themselves and we can like work it out in a more
No.
healthy way
No, the
instead of
government
just,
should parent for me.
yeah, they should do everything. I'm gonna
The
ignore my
schools.
child's needs, and then when they're 25 and can't stop whacking off all day because that's all they've been doing for the past decade, now it's somebody else's fault.
Well, I mean, you've either got that, or they go the schools should parent, the, or the. I mean, even it's I don't go to the parks as often because Alex and Chelsea's schedules are so on a line now. But when I was going frequently, just passing off the phone, letting the toddlers brain rot themselves on YouTube while they're in line, that was frequent. So if it's not, you know, let the other entities, it's I I need to pacify the child so I'm not having to distract them. Just I don't know.
Maybe we should make a parenting podcast. Even though none of us are parents, I think we give great parental advice.
Yeah, let's do it after we have kids. See.
Nope,
No,
nope,
No, no,
we
nope,
yeah,
should
no,
nope,
we should
nope,
you're,
nope,
we've,
nope,
we're
nope.
already losing the
It's
point. We need
it's
to do this before we
before
have kids.
Cameron.
before so that we can have we have it to reference when we have kids.
Bruh. I do not think it's a good idea.
I think it's a
I
crazy
think it
idea.
would be
I think
funny to do one episode of a joke like that and then listen to it like 5 or 6 years
Years
after you had a
later,
kid,
yeah.
yeah, and
be like,
just laugh at all the
That would
stuff you
be
thought.
funny, but also,
it's like
damn.
We're
Anyway,
supposed to do it before.
Mario Kart 7 is now on Nintendo Music. I listened to that today
nice.
on the plane, or part of it before I was playing any games. And I think think I asked this when I saw it go live. When are we getting Mario 3D Land? Because that's soundtrack I
Yeah,
realized I needed. I forgot about that one, but that one slaps.
That one goes hard. Um,
Okay, old but still interesting tidbit for the week. Back to Earthbound. In Earthbound, Master Belch is supposed to heal all damage done to him without the fly honey, but Psy Flash has a 1 out of 8 chance to make Belch feel strange. If Belch blows his nauseating breath against himself while feeling strange, he can inflict his own nauseating status effect against himself. Belch does not heal from damage inflicted by status effects, making it possible to drain his health without using the fly honey.
mm,
now the problem with that is you have to somehow survive long enough for him to die by poison.
Oh yeah, I mean, I had that same scenario happen to me when I played the first time too. As well, because I was like, didn't somebody tell me I was supposed to give him something? But I couldn't really remember. So like, I played him a couple times and I was save stating because I was not having a
Yeah,
good time. I haven't really save stated much on my Steam Deck because I know what I'm doing now. But the first time I was save stating a lot because I was doing so
yeah.
bad.
I'm
And
I'm mostly save stating as like actual saves, so I'm not like having to find a phone to call it a day.
mm.
But it's
um,
like I do like I did enough damage with Paula to like have him to have beaten Master Belch, and I'm like, what the hell? What am I forgetting here? You know, I'm like, this is so much damage. How is he still alive?
Well,
Also, talking about all that weird stuff that Earthbound does, one of the fact that the effect is literally that like you feel strange and you just
Yeah,
start hitting yourself.
Yeah.
it's so funny. Earthbound is so good, dude.
Earthbound's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
What's a good game?
Earthbound.
Earthbound.
Earthbound is a good game.
well, it's like there's Earthbound, and you have to save, and this is more just a complaint in general. You have to like save in specific locations, right? Because it's an older
Wherever you
game.
can find a phone, yeah.
Yeah.
The opposite end is something Claire Obscure does, where it just has autosave. I want to control my saves. It can have autosave. That's great.
Sucks. Like
Autosave.
Pokemon started adding autosave in some of the recent titles, and that sucks because like if it autosaves at the wrong time, you just miss out on mons, which is why like I kept turning it off
Yeah, we gotta have the
because I was
autosaves
going through
on,
too many
and we got a
mons.
manual save, and then we got a manual save a second time, and now we're good.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that I can't control my saves in Claire. I'm like, just have the option. Like I know some people are like, oh, I don't use it. I'm like, I do though. It's
Yeah,
old
I
I
habits
mean,
die hard in
I
this
understand
yeah.
where
case.
you're
So
coming from. I'm like that.
Let me
I'll
say,
say
dude.
just because you don't use it doesn't mean like other people don't too. It's like whoever was working on the game, they might not use the functionality, but like they have to know that there's a lot of people that play games that like really enjoy being able to control their own.
And
see,
also, it's just like a failsafe. Like autosaves have their issues. It's not like it's
yeah,
like autosaves are they just make sense because we can program that. But also, like we're
Yeah.
programmers, we understand the kind of people that programmers are. I'm not going to trust my save file to some programmer programming an autosave because they're probably
No,
just as stupid as me.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
it's really a trust thing. Like I just don't think like auto I know the kind of person that probably wrote this autosave code and I'm not going to put my life on it.
No.
Yeah.
no.
yeah.
Just
Especially,
have the option for me to do the save. I don't.
But
I
yeah, like I
every
generally like
time.
autosaves because like if the power goes out or something, it's pretty clutch.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single game that gives me the option to auto save that I just trust the auto save. I usually do the save myself
Yeah,
before
it
I
just
quit
makes
out.
you feel better.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's like with Mario RPG, right? It has autosaves every time you enter a room, but it also it still has the save points from the original.
Yep.
That is a fair compromise. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's what most games do. That's what Alex is talking about. Just like
yeah,
give us the saves.
just give me the option.
Is Yakuza is a good example. You've got autosaves like everywhere, but you also always have your smartphone on you, and it's got the save menu in the smart for you to
Right.
control your own saves.
Um, On to the rumors. Activision is considering locking certain game modes behind a battle pass for Call of Duty this year. Well,
Right.
I never even got I still haven't even gotten to the Call of Duty that came out last year, the new Black Ops.
Me neither.
Because
Microsoft trying to kill
well, like
Call of Duty. Shocker.
I couldn't bring myself to spend that money on the new Call of Duty because there are always unfinished games. I'm not stupid. So instead, I just went and got re-addicted to Cold War because that game at least works. It's finished. It's not great, but it's finished. Um, and I got my fix of zombies out of it. So I can't. Yeah, let's do it, Activision. Let's see how it goes. Screw it. Who cares? It'll probably work great because no one pays attention, I guess, or just doesn't want to spend the money. From Jason Schreier, Rockstar employees did not believe fall 2025 was achievable for GTA 6. Management wanted to avoid a brutal crunch for the game. Thank God.
I mean, yeah, I don't. I like the idea that people were like, no, look at all these games that are holding up because GTA 6 is coming. It's like, is it though? Like,
No, probably
Yeah.
not.
It's like
Yeah, I
it's
had
like a
my
saying.
reservations about it already coming out this year. But I don't know. I'm just glad to hear that at least as a rumor that
Somebody's not
they
complaining.
didn't want to. Yeah, they didn't want to crunch the devs, which
Yeah. It's like
we all
it's like
know
the
happens
saying
a lot.
goes, like bad games are bad, good games are good. I hate games.
I
Yeah,
hate games.
Shigeru
bad games are
Miyamoto.
bad, good games are bad. Everything sucks. I hate you.
That's crazy.
Quote
Um,
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Siggy Shiggy.
Shiggy Shiggy.
And Alex says this is an older rumor. This was from last week, but he wanted to save it because he wanted me to be here for it. Resident Evil 9 teased by Capcom in a new Resident Evil 4 video.
All over the videos, there's a 1 and an X in this video
Mm.
promoting their big sales numbers, like the Roman numeral numbers that they
I
use.
mean, like, not really as it's not super exciting as a rumor because this is basically saying that like Nintendo's working on another Mario game. But nonetheless, I hope it's close. I would
Yeah, me too. I
love me some
need another
RE.
Resident Evil game to scratch my itch
I've been
of the.
slowly consuming the Resident Evil games again on my Steam Deck, just seeing how they run. Man, I'm kind of upset I didn't have this around uh
You gonna
since
play
launch.
Joe's DLC?
I don't know how much of these games I'm going to play. I went
I
ahead
wanted to
and
play them.
I bought all the Resident Evil games when they were on like a mega sale because I was like, okay, I've already bought these games once before, so this is stupid. So I waited until like the big mega packs were on sale and I could spend like 40
Right.
bucks and get everything. Um, so I've played like a quarter of RE2 and probably the same of RE7, but I haven't played much. It was mostly just to see how they ran. Um,
I mean, you've played 7 before. You could just run the DLC you haven't done. Not a Hero, Save Zoe, stuff like that.
yeah, I'll probably do that. And really, what I need to do is play Resident Evil 3. I have basically avoided that game. Um,
They were,
and I know
I
it's kind
mean,
of like a low point as far as the Resident Evil games go. Like no one talks about 3 as much, but I need to play it. I
so
need to know what goes on.
three's big problem is the stuff they cut for the remake, is what people complain about. But I think it's fun. It's a lot like 2. You get Nemesis is scary, at least when you get to interact with him.
Yeah.
Um,
Res
Cameron played through it and had a horrible time because, like, not as in it's bad. It's just he
Cameron's
couldn't
bad.
get over the fact that Nemesis would follow him into buildings.
Thud, 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 thud.
Yeah,
Aha! I'm inside. Stay out there,
even of
right?
the bit
Wham!
of Resident Evil 2 I've replayed, like I've fully played through that game and still Mr. X scared the shit out of me. It happened again, and I kind of felt embarrassed. I was like, bro, I already know how this goes. I know what you were gonna do. And I still got spooked
No,
anyway.
yeah, Nemesis is not as scripted as Ag.
Mm. So yeah, hey, Resident Evil 9. Maybe next year.
Well,
Um,
next year's the 30th anniversary. I think we're getting one remake
well, at some point.
again. Yeah. Maybe
Okay,
they're just gonna be like, we're actually releasing a bunch of Resident Evil games, remakes all at once.
Nah.
but
Well, there's
maybe.
probably gonna be one this year. Either zero, like there's one's probably next year coming at all. So this year will either be 9, Code Veronica, or 0, since those are the three logical choices.
Okay, finishing topic for the week. We are gonna try another new thing here where we're gonna do a game out of we're gonna pick a genre and everyone's gonna have to name of their favorite game in that genre. We don't really know how many genres we're gonna do, and we're throwing some other ideas around, but we're starting it off simple this week to get a feel for it. So, easiest question in the world. What is your favorite 2D platformer?
You say it's easy, but I don't know if it's that easy.
Oh
Yeah, it
boy.
is. It's Donkey Kong Country, and any other answer is wrong.
You
No,
know
I
what?
mean
My bad.
it is a hard question because especially if you like platformers, because there's just like just a million 2D platformers. But
Yeah.
I started thinking about it because I was like, God, there's so many. What do I like? And I eventually was just like, you know what? There's no point in thinking about it. I'm not gonna get an answer I'm happy with because I'm gonna have to leave something out that I really like. So it was like just Donkey Kong Country. I glaze that game all the
Well,
My
it's
bad, King. I should have figured.
time.
well, I mean, Grant, it's either that or Super Mario World for you, I would think.
I I don't know. I can't. Mega Man 2 is up there. Uh, might be a bit of recency bias, but I really do love Mega Man 2.
Mm.
And Shovel Knight is up there. Uh, I don't know. I started naming off of and I've played. I'm a Nintendo guy. We're Nintendo people. I play so many 2D platformers. It's hard to pick one. So that's why I just
Yeah.
gave up. I was like, there's so many I like. Just
You're just like Donkey Kong,
DKC done. Yeah, one of the SNES
like that.
ones.
Yeah. Um.
I do love DKC, but I think I might have to go with either Celeste or maybe Hollow Knight.
I
Which one?
have not played enough Hollow
Well,
Knight
I haven't played
to
Silk
agree or
Song, so
disagree, but
um,
Celeste is a good choice.
the first one. I don't
Yeah,
like.
like
I don't have
which
Silk
one?
Songs.
Or is it just both Celeste and Hollow Knight?
Oh, you're saying which one between Celeste and Hollow Knight?
Yeah, yeah. Make
Oh,
you choose.
shit. I don't know. They're both very similar. They rely on jumping and dashing and wall jumping and all sorts of different stuff.
Isn't Hollow
But
Knight more of a
I probably
Metroidvania?
it is kind of, but I mean, all Metroidvanias for the most part
Are
are also 2D platformers. So I guess
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
I would consider that a legal gray area, but I'll allow it.
Yeah.
yeah, like most
Hollow
every
Knight's a really good
Metroidvania
game,
I've
so you
played
can't
has
really
all
argue
three.
against it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say probably Celeste is the more classic game,
Mhm.
but does that mean I
It's
like it more? I don't think
it's
so.
it's.
Just which one do
I
you
mean, it's
like
a
more?
close. Yeah. Which one? Yeah, it sounds like it's very close.
Yeah, I think I probably like Hollow Knight more, dude. It's so cute. And the fact that you have like boss battles and everything that you can do in it too, which of course is part of the Metroidvania aspect of it. But that just attracts me even more because I'm a big fan of boss battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Celeste, I think
You know what?
Hollow Knight is like
Favorite
I don't know, it's one of those games. Everybody knows about Hollow
favorite 2D platformer, Elden Ring.
Knight.
That's crazy.
But
Easy.
Celeste is the tomorrow answer, Grant.
I was gonna say that when he first said Celeste, I was like, oh, r/tomorrow is exploding in a celebration right now. Celeste.
Yeah, true.
Celeste
Selling
is
a.
really good. Have all of y'all played Celeste before?
I've
Have
played a
I
Of
mean,
course,
lot
yes,
of
I buy
Celeste.
one
Alex
copy
did.
every week. You're actually legally required to.
Okay, my bad, my bad.
I didn't know your game.
honestly,
You know
this bit of a
Haley has Celeste on her wish list, but doesn't have Celeste. We need to change that.
That that's
fair.
bad.
A little bit. Well, damn. A little bit out of
You
left
got it.
field would probably be Rayman, dude. Rayman Legends.
Oh, Rayman is a very
Very
fun
acceptable
2D
Decent.
answer.
platformer.
Very acceptable
That is a
answer.
very fun 2D platformer.
And obviously, like
Very acceptable
Kirby
answer.
and Yoshi's Island, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, Kirby to Yoshi, no
Mm.
duh. But like Rayman Legends is actually, dude, I love the music levels. Like those were always so unique to me, and they were so fun.
Yeah,
Don't you
Rayman's
love
a
how they
great series.
stole
That has the like the comp. It was like the extra edition Rayman Legend, like the newest one that they released, and it had like several of the ones from Legends and from Origins, and like it had a whole bunch of different.
Ooh,
Dude, we were playing it the other day. You should
yeah,
play with it. It's fun as hell. Like next
dude,
time
I'd
you
be
come
down.
over.
Um, see, okay. The problem is I have a lot of good memories with 2D platformers.
Exactly.
Like with Mario World, I remember going over to Grant's house and he would just steal all the lives.
Hell yeah, son, dude. I thought I was slick as hell doing that. I was like, he has no idea, even though I'm doing it on the screen right in front of him.
He
Gives
has
you a
no
hint
idea
as my
how.
expertise and knowledge as a child, how smart I was.
It's like I'm gonna steal all the lives. Um,
How do you steal the lives? Like,
You
I
push
think you
select and you
select,
can
isn't it?
yeah, you push select and you can transfer lives between two players, so that way like if the other person's doing bad, you can give them some lives or whatever.
But
But
Grant
I
would
just
always
do that
just
at the start. I
as
do that
soon
at the
as,
start. Give me that
we
shit.
loaded in, he would just
Boom, boom,
steal
boom, boom,
everything.
boom. Give me all that.
He's like, you better not die.
that's funny.
Um, Similarly with uh, Super Mario Wii, you got 9-1, the Dueling Dragons, where everyone just ground pounds into each other to top, or tosses them into lava. Um, but ooh, I I think hmm, does Woolly World count as 2D?
I
is
mean,
it
I mean, I
stuck in
think
How
isometric?
much?
the graphics are 3D, but it's still like
It should be
yeah,
It's
why
still
would it
pretty
be? That is not a.
it's
2D.
If
still
you call
really
that a
side
3D
scrolling.
platformer, you're crazy. I think don't
No,
they call those
it's
two and a
definitely not.
half D,
Yeah,
2.5D?
because
Yeah,
it's 3D, but it's in a 2D
it's
plane.
in
Yeah,
a
a
2D
two and a half
plane,
D
but that's
platformer
what
is a
makes it
2D
2D
platformer.
platformer.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what makes it
Okay.
like
That
Rayman is 3D graphics, but it's still on a 2D plane.
Yeah, like the new Super Mario series is 2D platformers,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
those are
yeah.
all 3D.
That too.
Yeah, I think it's Woolly World done. Um, like it's
Another acceptable.
for
We've got some good
it's
opinions
very
tonight,
Epic
close
Yarn
gentlemen.
was also
between
a very. I kind of forgot about Epic Yarn, but that was
dude.
honestly one of
Epic
my.
Yarn is
That was one of my
peak.
favorite Kirby. That was
That is
honestly maybe one of
just
my
so
favorite
good.
Nintendo games I've ever played.
Epic Yarn is so peak. I really
Epic
do
Yarn is
hope they bring
actually
it.
so fucking
Epic
good.
Yarn was really good.
It'd be so cool if they bring it to the Switch, as one of the last surviving games.
That would be
Um,
really cool. Like they do a remaster.
yeah, I think they already
Yeah.
did on the 3DS. Like they
I
made
was
a
gonna
port
say
of
I've got
that.
it downloaded for
Yeah.
uh free. Uh,
You want to say that a little bit louder so now
uh,
that I have the recording on?
yeah.
But
Nintendo's
yeah,
listening right
um,
now.
like I
Yeah.
know because they added amiibo support. They added, I don't know if they added any more levels, but they did remove the two-player mode, right? Or do you just have to have both two people with it? I don't know. But like, it, Good Feel is
Two-player mode was actually
so
very
good with the 2D platformers.
the two-player mode in Epic Yarn was actually like most two-player Nintendo games. They unless they're like made to be party games, they don't really feel like they're very even between the two players. But
No,
that one actually felt very like there was actually teamwork required to beat some of the puzzles if you were playing in two-player
it's
mode.
so much. It's like actually feels like it has some depth to it with
Yeah, yeah.
multiplayer. It's not just like,
It's not one
oh well,
person doing everything and the other person is just like chilling out, have with a controller in their hand.
or like the opposite end where it's just like because it was designed for one person, having two players just means you steamroll everything. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
um, it's
Speaking of, I forgot this is a double loaded question because it answers this and also I forgot it for Collector's Corner. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite ever, but I'm finally getting around to playing Kirby Planet Robobot, which I've heard is like one of the best Kirby games.
yeah,
Uh,
I've
and
actually
so
never played it.
far, I booted it up,
Never
and the
played it.
first level music, I was like, oh, that's where this song is from. Every YouTuber uses that song. It's all over the internet. But when you play it, and you're like, oh, that's where it's from. It's from Planet Robobot, and it's banging. The soundtrack so far is really good. The
so
everything
wait, you
about
own
yeah,
I'll
it's
have to
Robobot.
listen to it.
I
so
do.
do I for
Yeah,
free.
Me
I'll give
too.
you.
I also own Robo.
I was gonna say because used it for the amiibo video,
No, I definitely own it.
so
I just
somebody
never.
owns it.
Well, damn,
I
Coop, you need
bought
to
it
get on
on
that
my
because you're missing
3DS
out,
when
dude.
it closed, when the shop was closing down.
Yeah, I did not do that.
That's why the 8
Um,
shop exists, boys.
it's just it's so good.
All right, any final results or submissions?
Yeah,
Alex hasn't
Alex,
submitted anything yet.
Oh,
Alex,
yeah.
come on now.
well, damn, man. Say
Let's
something.
hear it.
Everybody's so loud. Uh,
Yeah.
I've thought about this for a while, and I'm one of the answers I considered. I'm going to actually whenever we get around for Metroid. So I actually think of 2D platformers. It's New Super Mario Bros. DS. Let's go!
Ooh,
That's
I will
solid.
take that answer.
That's a pretty good one.
Honestly, I would take any that aren't you,
Yeah.
Luigi,
because
that's fair.
if you're gonna pick you, you might as well pick one of the earlier ones. And
mhm.
honestly, I'm only letting Mario 2 slide because I have a lot of nostalgia with that game. Um, but
Yeah.
really, it's just, like you either pick DS or Wii, because 2 and U are not that
All
any
right.
different, really.
Hang on. I just found it out. We're all wrong. There is the best, superior above all.
Is it
Cameron
Super
thinks it's
Princess
one.
Peach?
Nah. Hey Pikmin.
That doesn't count. I'm not counting
Chibi
that.
Not
Robo
a,
You
Ziplash.
don't really do platforming in that. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it
You,
is.
you,
Yes,
you'd
it
have
is a
By
2D
definition, I
platformer.
don't.
By
Yeah.
definition, it's a 2D platformer. But like, to say you actually do platforming in that game is a stretch.
yeah, Chibi Robo Ziplash fits better.
Yeah, which is
True.
pain.
So, Alex, was your other submission going to be Super Princess Peach? Because that's a pretty good pick.
That is a solid pick.
That is not my other pick. I just
Yeah, but that's a sleeper
was,
pick right there.
yeah,
That is a
that
sleeper
is a
pick. That
sleeper
is
pick.
solid.
No, it's not a Metroidvania. Well, I guess kinda, right? But
Sort of.
no, I know my Metroidvania
I was
answer.
gonna say Metroidvania is like different. I mean, every Metroidvania is a 2D platformer, but every 2D platformer is not a Metroidvania.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
think
Exactly.
you can submit Metroidvanias for this, but I think we should do an episode of
Surprisingly,
Metroidvanias.
it's kind of too late to say it.
I
I
don't want
already
my
beat
Metroidvania answer shared with my 2D platform answer.
Well, mine probably won't be. Well, maybe it will be, but
Yeah.
how about just
Um.
don't do Metroidvania for a long time and then the
True. And that
more
way
we
No,
we
get
it's
can.
actually
easier
next week,
easy.
Kyle.
It is next week now.
I write the show. It's next week.
That's crazy. Liar. You lied to me.
um. Oh, dude. Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
I've
like
never
the
played it.
like the best, but it is
I
solid.
played it. Dude, Super Meat Boy is kind of frustrating though. 'Cause, like the entire point is to you know learn the pattern.
Fail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a it's a game where you learn the process so that you don't fail,
Yeah.
which makes it kind
It's
of
kind of
rough.
it's kind of like Ultimate Chicken Horse though, because it goes on that same idea, and you get to basically versus other people with it.
Mhm.
That's why I really like Ultimate Chicken
Ultimate
Horse.
Chicken Horse, that's a fun game, bruh.
That is solid. I mean, that counts as a 2D platformer, I think. That's a solid one.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
mean,
co-op. I mean, like it's different. It's
yeah,
not
it's definitely not a 2D. It's not a 2D platform in the same vein that like most of the other
Mario.
ones that we've mentioned
Yeah.
have been,
No.
but it is definitely all 2D, and you have to platform if you want to win.
I
So,
was gonna say it's a solid party game though.
no, it's very fun. I agree.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's it on my part.
We're good.
All right, well, that'll end the show here then. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Please share us with a friend. We post every Wednesday, most of the time, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube.com/StormwindGames. Anywhere that you get your podcast, you can find us. Add us on Twitter at All Night Gamers with a K. Let us know what's your favorite 2D platformer and why. Are you gonna buy a $700 Xbox? What do you think about
And if you are, please
Earthbound?
Actually,
tell
I've
us
already bought it.
if you're gonna buy the $700 Xbox. We actually want you on the show.
Yeah, we would love to have you on
Literally.
I'm right here. I just told you.
the show. Okay, okay, bud. Receipt or it didn't happen. Um, but yeah, let us know, and we'll be back next week as always for more gaming news, talk, and discussion. Thank you so much for listening. Lowers the line, say the line. Thanks for listening. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. We love you to death. See you next week. Bye bye.
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 Bye y'all.